There's power in a drum beat on a hill above the sea. Power in the voice of a supporter. But it all amounts to nothing. Together we don't sing. There's power when we're not OIC. And it's big or forever. Old town scenery. Valley and mountain shine brown to the sea. And the colors of our rainbow, sunset orange, Tory green. There's power when we're not OIC. SC loyal forever. Someday North County. Desert to islands. Get loud now, you and me. All our voices strong together as we cheer on our team. There is power when we're not
Welcome to the Loyal Locals podcast. I'm your host, Andrew Dyer, coming at you on the heels of a devastating road loss for your San Diego Loyal and a challenge ahead this weekend. We're going to get you all of the information you need to know heading into the weekend, where to watch the match, where to hang out with all of the incredibly attractive people who support this team. And speaking of attractive people that help us support this team, our producer, John Cross, is here. John, how are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for that introduction there.
Of course. And we do have a guest this week. Who's joining us?
We have Eric Wilke joining us.
Eric, returning champion. Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Doing well.
Well, you know. Okay, let's just get this right out of the way. We've been kind of bummed out with this whole MLS thing in general, and I'm really actually kind of excited that I have a new reason to be depressed, and that's the performance of San Diego Loyal on the road lately. And at home now that I think about it. So. I don't even know where to start. John, how are you feeling after Saturday's 2-0 loss to the Oakland Roots?
It almost feels a little comical at this point. We can't, I don't know what it is. Oakland has a couple of good opportunities and they always seem to put them away. And Eric and I were talking about this a little bit pre-show, and we get a couple of good opportunities, and Gaudette comes up huge, right? They're goalkeeper for Oakland, and we just can't seem to find the right combinations, the right things at the right time when we play Oakland, and it's I don't know. It used to be frustrating, and now it's just. I don't know. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the time we can celebrate a victory. Hopefully, it's at home the next time we play them. But they have our number right now.
Absolutely, for sure. Last two times we've played them, we've given up 5 and scored none. So hasn't been too good of a going against Oakland lately. Their goalkeeper just seems to have the game of his life every time they play us. Even when we get close and think we might walk away with the victory, they get a draw somehow. It's like John said, it's just kind of ridiculous at this point, how much of a bogey team they are for us.
I'm not normally one who buys into like this team just has our number because, the lineups change, the coaches change, but it is strange that we seem to have so much trouble with this team. This time, some notable differences and some notable absences from the lineup. Charlie Adams is still out. Koke Vegas, the starting goalkeeper, is out with an unknown injury. Not that I think this was the cause of the loss. Certainly not in the case of our keeper, because I think the youngster Duran Free did an admirable job. I don't know what that word was. An admirable job in goal. He, the first one, there's not much he could do, and the second one, his back line really left him out to dry on that. Incredibly, you might not know this about me, but I was really mad when I saw that happening. In fact, I was at the watch party at Novo Brazil, and I started screaming at the screen like an absolute lunatic. I was incensed that we were going to lose 1-0, and we gifted that goal. It was almost like an assist to their attacking player. And what's the kid going to do? You're one-on-one with somebody. 9 times out of 10, they're going to get you. And a very frustrating kind of exclamation point on that beatdown, and that really solidified it as a beatdown in my estimation. And I didn't look at the numbers. I don't do any research for this podcast. If you want research and numbers, we have a podcast for that. This one is all about vibes, and I feel like we are just not getting. It's not like we're not creating chances, but we're either not creating the right chances or not taking chances when they come in search of that extra pass for a better chance. So many times I'm just like, just boot the ball towards the goal. Quit playing this cutesy passing game. In the attacking third. I don't know what's either one of y'all can jump on that. I'm just so incensed with this team's performance.
Well, yeah, I think we do tend to want to dribble right up to the 6-yard box and shoot from there. And I agree. We need to put pressure on the keeper from long range, kind of like when Jack Blake was here and he would just let it rip, or, Kyle Vassell as well. Just make the goalkeeper do something. But granted, last Saturday, the goalkeeper did do something. He stopped Conway from point blank range. Collier had that beautiful little back heel flip to Toomey. Could have put it anywhere, but put it right at the keeper. So I think we are creating chances, but I would tend to agree with you, Andrew. We need to just put some balls on target from anywhere. You don't have to dribble right up to the keeper and shoot it at him. Just, if you're open, just have a rip at it,
No, I could have sworn that we signed a speedy goal scorer in the offseason who thrives in the counterattack and playing long balls and in space and through balls. Gosh, it's crazy to see him try to be effective in a system that doesn't seem to want to feed him the ball where he's most effective.
Yeah,
it's an interesting choice, certainly. I thought it was an interesting choice when they signed him. He didn't seem like he was necessarily the right fit, at least the way we had played historically. I thought maybe they were looking to switch a little bit, try something a little different, and they don't seem. Again, if you want to have a better breakdown, watch Bum's breakdown because we're just fans talking about stuff. So he does seem to thrive on anytime. Let me go back when he was successful with Orange County. I mean, that's what they played, kind of a counterattacking style. Give him space to run onto the ball because he's blazing fast, and give him the chance to get in there on the keeper. And we don't play that way. We almost never. I don't even think we look for that pass very often. And then when we do get it to him, he's got more players around him, and he just I don't think that's the kind of game that he.
Well, that is not where he thrives. Is whenever he's surrounded by defenders, because I don't know what he weighs or how tall he is, but there's I think there's kids in 6th grade who would leer over him. I'm not sure, but yeah, we've seen him, and this is something teams have done. They play very physical with him, and when you watch games, maybe not on TV because some of this happens away from the ball, but he's on the ground a lot. He's constantly getting knocked down. So yeah, space isn't there for him, and he seems to not be able to find a way to assert himself in our offensive system.
And I think the absence of Charlie Adams plays a big role in that as well.
That's huge.
We count on Charlie to unlock the defense with his passing, those through balls, and look for the space to put Damas in, right? So I don't think they've actually played a lot together, honestly. I mean, I don't, like Andrew, I didn't do any research either, but that's just my gut instinct, is that I don't feel they've been on the field a lot together and just haven't built that chemistry. But I feel like last season we did play that a little bit with Vassell, like to have him hold up, get the ball to him and have him hold up. And I see it. We try to do that with Damas every once in a while, but it just so far has not been a very effective season for him, unfortunately.
I will say one positive out of this match was our watch party at Novo Brazil Brewing Restaurant in the Otay Ranch Mall. Eric, were you out there?
Unfortunately, I had other obligations, so I had to wallow in my own misery at home watching that game. I did see some photos, though. Looks like Jerry and the Duffys, Nick and other Duffy, had some fun times there at Novo watch party.
I saw the picture, yeah.
How about you, Andrew? I know you love the beer at Novo. Were you at the watch
You know what?
party?
I found one that was pretty good.
Acceptable? Oh.
It's pretty good. It was the one of the West Coast IPAs, and it was fine. And that's what I had. There was some tequila from the kit sponsor there, so there were samples of the tequila available for those who, chose to go that route. There were also like some drinks. Anyway, it was pretty good. This was a club's watch party, but it was very well attended. Probably not as much as the Elsmith. I feel like the Elsmith watch party had considerably more people, but
I don't know. It might have been, but I think AleSmith, we were just kind of packed in and it was just us and we were in a more enclosed space. I was surprised when I was standing in the back talking with some people. We had our core group that was together at the many tables they had for us, but there were still people in jerseys I was looking around that were further away from our group. So I think we just weren't as condensed as we were at AleSmith, but it was a good turnout, and as always, it was a fun time at the watch party.
So, speaking of watch parties, I know we have another one coming up, but I think we're going to save that a little bit. John, what else do we need to hit when we're talking about the last week? I know you've got some shout outs queued up.
Yeah, I got some shout outs. The first thing, just breaking news here. We were just talking about Jerry Ibarra. He just popped in the chat, and the pub quiz team just won tonight again. So I don't know where they are in the standings, but congratulations to them. Also, for those who didn't know, we were talking about the Oakland match, and Duran Furry is up for Save of the Week. So if you haven't had a chance to go in there and vote, he did have a couple of good saves, really good saves in that match. So go on the USL site or in the app and vote for him for Save of the Week. We did have a bunch of people who went out to Oakland. I know we have Dylan in the chat right now. Dylan, who's one of our co-hosts on Bums Breakdown. He was up there. We had, I don't know, I saw a picture. It looked like there were 20 plus total people who were up and around in that picture representing the locals up there in Oakland. So they, judging from what I'm seeing in the chat, looks like they had a good time. I hung out with the couple of the Oakland supporter groups before, at least pre-match, and seemed like they had a good time. So we will try to do a good job hosting them when they come out and treat them either at Coronado, or I don't know if we're going to have a Bums parking lot for that game or not, but hopefully we can we can finally get our victory on the field over Oakland for that match. But those are key things for the game. I do have a couple other shout outs that I wanted to do. I don't know how many people saw it. It's been shared in Discord and on social media, but American Tifo, which is like a digital magazine about soccer. I think they're on Substack, but I think I have the article up here. Let me see if I can pull it up. But there was a good profile that they did. I think it was released on Sunday about the locals. So if you have, let's see if this is it here. Give me 1 second. There we go. American Tifo, so how San Diego supporters are staying loyal and local. I thought this was a very good and fair profile of us as a supporter group and kind of how we plan to fit in to our San Diego soccer culture as things are changing over the next couple of years. And some real good quotes here from Jason Radcliffe and Nick Duffy, two of the people on our leadership team here at the Locals. So if you haven't had a chance to check that out, look them up online, American Tifo, or a link to the article is in Discord. And then We also have the team did a quick profile on Paul Naku. It is, or May is Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month. So Paul has helped out with some things in the past, but they did a little profile on Paul on social media. I saw it on Twitter. I don't know, did either of you guys see that?
I did, yeah. Looks like it was really cool. Good to see him get the recognition he deserves. He works so hard, not only in the community, but also running the Fiends supporters group as well. So really, really nice to see that from the club for him.
Yeah, and there were the pictures, a lot of them were done out at the bridge where they started the original bridge Barcata. And for those of you, you may know Paul as part of the Fiends and a lot of the artwork and pins and stickers and decals and things he brings to the matches and hands out a lot of times and helps people put some merch stuff together. Mm-hmm. But he was also one of the original founders of Bridge Barcata and a very big champion on our San Diego soccer scene and just getting people to get out and play. And one of the things Bridge Barcata has done, Paul would put this in Discord as well. But when we pull this one up now, it looks like they're looking for some people to help out at the CONCACAF Champions League final. So there is a link to this form. The only request, so this is coming up this weekend, and I'm looking at the forum live right now, so it's still open. I guess they're still looking for people, but you would need to be in there to help out on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But one of the things they ask here at the end, if you do it, and how were you referred? Since Paul put this out there for us in our Discord, we would like to, or he has requested that you reference Bridge Barcata there if you choose to fill out this form and get up there to LA, I guess, right? For the CONCACAF Champions League final this weekend.
This isn't going to require crossing any picket lines, is it? Why are they asking for volunteers?
I'm not really sure. I'm guessing it sounds like it's for some of the celebratory stuff that they're doing.
I'm sure everything is on the up and up, and as to why they can't pay people.
All right, and then a couple last things. Pride Raiser is coming up. I did not get any word before the start of the show, so we should be getting information any second now about our Pride Raiser coming up because it's starting here in just a couple of days. But again, for those who are new, we usually, part of it is we pledge based on the goals that the loyal
might want to up that pledge this year, y'all, because not scoring a lot of goals. So maybe bump that 5 up to a 10. And, you can always give more at the end of the month if things keep going the way they're going.
I am one of those people who I mentioned it last week. I'm going to be bumping mine up. I usually do 5. I'm going to be doing 10 this year. And that was part of some of the things we talked about last week, just the way the world is right now. I'm going to be given just a little bit more this year for Pride Raiser.
There's I mentioned
that. Go ahead.
Was that the cops? Somebody got their
I don't know.
Scanner going? Okay.
Got the scanner.
I mentioned it last week, and I'm going to say it again this week because this is really the only place it's the only platform I really have to talk about this stuff. But guess what? There's a very active and very robust anti-LGBTQ hate movement sweeping the country. You may have seen a bunch of really questionable right-wing influencers walking through Target filming themselves in front of pride displays, various politicians jumping on this, people harassing Target employees. I saw some stuff on Twitter. I guess there's like a Target employee subreddit where people are sharing some of these horror stories. This is all just part and parcel to our kind of political landscape right now. A lot of us, myself included, feel pretty powerless in the face of a resurgent, discriminatory kind of movement like this, and this is one avenue where you can do something, and even if it's just something as trite as forking over some money, but the fact is that this money goes to something good that actually does help people. So I encourage everybody to give something within your means, of course, but I feel like for me, there's just an extra sense of urgency this year because of what these folks are facing in the face of such a just a really out there movement, a hate movement right now. Which 1 year ago, I mean, don't get me wrong, things haven't been good, but there's something else happening right now, and I'm very aware of that, and will be have that in mind as I'm figuring my pledge.
So once again, if you can, pledge as much as you want for the goals, or even pledge a little early on. I mean, anything will help, even $1 a goal. And you can always round up. As Andrew said, you can always give more at the end. You know, you
Hey,
can
wait, they
see
might
how
only
things
score
go.
one goal this month. We got San Antonio, we got Sacramento.
We
guess
got
what?
a tough schedule.
Yeah, these are teams that aren't giving up a whole lot of goals. So, yeah, bad month for Pride Raiser, but let's you know, you don't have to. You can always give more.
Yeah, and hopefully we get a good amount of donations from the local community here. I remember in the past that the chairman, AV, has matched, I think, what we raised. So I don't know if he's going to do that again this season or not, but whatever we can do to help the community that's in trouble, like Andrew said, I think we can. Please do.
Yeah, and speaking along the lines of giving as well, some other opportunities, we mentioned these last week. They're up on the Discord as well. The team, now this is done through the team, but they've reached out to see if anybody from the supporter group would be interested. Next Tuesday at the Ronald McDonald House, they need some volunteers to help cook and serve some dinner. So again, some more information on that is in the Discord, but that would be next Tuesday, June 6th. On the 8th, which is Thursday, they need about 7 people to help with food distribution at the ASYMCA. Again, some more information about that is on Discord. And then also on the 8th, there's a late afternoon, early evening beach cleanup with the Rob Machado Foundation. They need about 50 people, and they're going to be cleaning up at Seaside, which is that South Cardiff State Beach area. So again, information is on our Discord for those. And then speaking of Pride, we are planning on marching in our Pride Parade in July. So that's going to be the 15th. So there's more information to come later, but keep that on your radar. And that should be all the big news.
I was speaking of big news. We do have another match this Saturday, and we mentioned it a little bit, but your San Diego Loyal are making the difficult flight, which I think I mentioned last week, the difficult flight to San Antonio, given that there's not very many direct flights from San Diego anymore. And this is a pretty good team, and we're not in the best form right now. So, yeah, what's on the watch party plan for this weekend, John?
Well, speaking of where they are, San Antonio is sitting in third right now, and we're sitting in fourth. So it is a tight game for the standings. And I don't know if anybody is heading out to San Antonio. I haven't seen any chatter on the Discord. So if you want to watch it with some locals, we are back to our usual watch party locations. So in the South Bay, it's Cabarros. Head on down there. If you're in the North Park area and you want to go to Fairplay, that's one of our other options. Or if you're North County Coastal, you can head out to Northern Pine Brewing. But those will be our 3 official locations for people in various areas of the county to head out and hang out with some locals and watch the game and hopefully celebrate a victory against San Antonio.
Yeah, so that game is in the Central Time Zone, so plan accordingly. I think it's
a 6 o'clock kickoff.
6
for us.
o'clock. Gosh, what do you think, Eric? How are we looking against the San Antonio?
Well, I really am interested to see if we get anybody back from injury. Charlie Adams especially really helps with our midfield and our attacking. But I don't know. To be honest, I would be happy with a draw in San Antonio. I'm just like you said, our form isn't looking too great, and they're a tough opponent. They have Farr as goalkeeper. He's amazing as well. So run of games against good goalkeepers just continues at this point. But I'd be happy with a 1-1 or a 0-0 draw. If we won, I'll be ecstatic.
It's Pride Raiser. We need a 3-3 draw, 4-4 draw.
No,
on, man.
3-0 victory. What are you talking about?
If he's gonna have a draw, we gotta, we need to up our goal total. He's
okay,
saying
3-3 then. 3-3.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not feeling super confident. Unless Charlie is back in the lineup. I mean, these last few matches, you guys listen to me week in and week out. I don't know much about this sport, but I know about it, but I don't know how to watch it in a way where I understand what each player is bringing to the field, right? Clearly, you don't know what you got until they're gone, because the team is in noticeably poorer form when Charlie is not on the pitch, and that's something that even an idiot like me can see.
Yeah, we're sitting in fourth right now, and we're all not happy with our play, but if you look at everything in full context, we're still right there. And I haven't been happy with our goal scoring clearly this year, but other than that was a terrible flub we had for that second goal on Oakland, but generally our defense has been stronger. And of a whole team, I don't feel that imminent late game collapse like I felt fairly consistently for the first few years. I just feel even in Oakland, we gave away so much the possession. We just passes. We passed right to Oakland. We had a build-up going, and we just weren't connecting our passes. And I feel like we are just a half click away from really opening up and breaking open teams. It's just off. And it's just off enough that it's really killing us. And if we can make those connections, because there are a lot of positives out there on the field, I just, as soon as we get that, maybe getting Charlie back will help. But, if we can start making those connections again and really connect those passes and not be quite as, I don't know, I'll say lazy with them. Sometimes they're just not quite as crisp. The first touch is not quite as clean. If we can just clean up a couple of those things, I think we're still a good team. We can still we can compete with any of the other teams in the league. I feel like we've just been off these last few games.
Yeah. Go ahead, Eric.
Oh, I was gonna say I agree with that. Sometimes the passes look just not quite where they want them to go. They're just not quite hitting them right. But I will say one thing that I do like is the way they keep grinding and fighting all the way to the end. Even if they're not making those passes, you can see that the fight's still in it. So it's not like they've given up. So that is one thing that definitely happy to see in the team.
So I want to make sure that I want to talk about something good that's coming up, because I know it's been pretty negative, and we got to play San Antonio, which is never fun. Although we did beat them once last year. The next weekend we are finally back at home. That is against the Sacramento Republic. That's June 9th. 7 p.m. So our long drought of home matches will end with 2 back-to-back weekends of soccer at Torero following Sacramento. this very San Antonio team will be welcomed into the well, it's not a fortress anymore, I guess, but welcome back to the grounds of Torero, where we used to be pretty good. So maybe I have some recency bias here, but just like worst case scenario, trying to look at some positives. Even if we drop points on the road in San Antonio, we have opportunities at home right behind them to get some statement wins. And, that's where I'm going to find my happiness and positivity right now is those 2 home matches coming up after this road match.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Sacramento game for sure. It's Friday night, which we haven't had one of those yet, so that'll be great. I'm expecting a lot of energy and hopefully a sellout for that game because, like you said, they've been road warriors the last few weeks here, so it'll be nice to be with everybody back at Truro and try to reestablish it as our fortress, we'll say. So I feel good about that match, actually.
The thing about home winning streaks is that to start one, you've got to win one. So if we or unbeaten streak, whatever, maybe we had a draw, but there was an unbeaten streak. It ended. So hey, it's time to start another one, and that's definitely in the realm of possibility.
That's good. I still think we can compete with any of these teams. And I do think once it starts clicking, we'll see a very different team out there.
Yeah,
if it doesn't, it's going to be frustrating.
That's the thing about this league. It's like we see this, and I talk about it all the time. It's like there's the margins, like there's not a big gulf between any of these teams, bottom to top. It's standings can be very deceptive in USL, and a team might look unbeatable one week. San Antonio beat was it Louisville? Louisville. They beat them like 7-0, and then turn around and lost. So, it's not. It's not like whenever you're like watching, the big clubs of the Premier League beat up on the teams fighting relegation. There is not that kind of a gulf in class in USL. So it's never impossible. Orange County won the championship 2 seasons ago, and heading into the playoffs, nobody was giving them a chance. And one of the key pieces to that championship team is wearing Torrey green this season. So let's use him the way we know he's effective.
That's right.
John, do we have any house cleaning items or more shout outs that we need to hit upon?
Just a couple of Bum TV programming notes. Bum's Breakdown probably won't be out before Thursday. I believe they're going to be recording it tomorrow with Dylan being out of town and being a 3-day weekend, it's kind of messed up their schedule a little bit. So I believe they're recording tomorrow night. So usually they record Monday or Tuesday. So that will probably be delayed by at least a day from when it normally comes out. We probably will not have a Kicking It with the Locals this week again. We're still trying to work out some scheduling things. So I'll put out the plea one more time. If there's anybody who'd like to help us with the scheduling and help coordinate some of that, that would really help us get get the interviews back going for this interview show. But we are expecting, looking ahead to a couple supporter groups, to have Tower Bridge Battalion before they come down for the home match that week, and the Pittsburgh Riverhounds before they come out, who, if anybody's not paying attention to the Open Cup, have one of the USL teams that have made it to the final 8. So
who are these SGs? That's the Pittsburgh.
I'm not sure.
Bridge
deal in their name. I'm trying to remember.
What's the Bridge Battalion?
Tower Bridge Battalion. That's Sacramento's.
Sacramento, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So we will, and sorry, I'm gonna save that for later. What I was gonna say, that's gonna just get us off onto another topic here. But we will be having.
Come on, let's go.
We'll save that
My
for
favorite
the lounge.
thing.
And then I think that's it for for what we have for our shows and stuff. The rest of my stuff we'll talk about in the lounge.
Perfect. So yeah, if you're listening right now, at 9 p.m. we will have the locals only lounge, where we will delve into the topics that John refuses to bring up right now while we're all here, which is fine. That's the way we're going to do it. If you're listening on your podcast app, it's the show that populated your feed directly before this one.
Yeah.
After. There you go. Also, if you are watching on YouTube and you haven't done it yet, please hit the subscribe button. Help us out to grow the channel. We do want to unlock some power user features, and we are this close to that goal. Only about 900 more subscribers to go. So, you know what? All it takes is one, and then 899 more. So
we keep we get a few more every week. We keep plugging away. We're getting closer and closer.
So help us reach our goal, and like and subscribe. Rate the podcast on your podcasting app. All of that stuff helps. And we want to keep bringing all of this high quality content to your media consumption diet. John, where can people find you?
Best place to find me is on Discord at John Cross. And before I turn it back to you, I'd like to thank both Tay and Jason for helping me out. Steel Army is the supporter group for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds.
Eric, are you joining us for the lounge, Eric? Are you coming back?
Unfortunately, I am not going to be in the lounge, but I will be listening to you guys later. So I'm sure you will discuss lots of great topics that John won't let you know what they are yet, though.
Oh, I'm getting ready for it. I'm ready. I'm already raring to go. Where can people find you?
I'm on Twitter at Eric D. Wilke, and then also in the Discord at Eric Wilke. So one of those two spots is usually best.
All right.
And in 109.
Of course. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm Andrew Dyer. I'm on Twitter at Andrew P. Dyer. Still don't have the Blue Sky invite, but I'm going to stop asking for it because it's sad and pathetic. So we'll be back at 9 p.m. and we'll see you then. Thank you, everyone, for watching and listening.
Bye.
Any day, go forever, oh,